Hello and welcome back. Again, I'm Dr. Dan Hyatt from Hyatt Chiropractic, and I want to take just a couple minutes and go through NuLean Phase 2 and what I recommend to my patients. Phase 2, there is an actual Phase 2 that NuLean does, and what NuLean recommends for Phase 2 is you've lost some weight in Phase 1, the initial 7 days, and Phase 2 is anything after that, up until you reach the weight that the weight loss that you've been shooting to lose. And what Phase 2 is it's actually only 2 products. One of them is called the Power Cleanse. Now you remember with Phase 1 we had the Super Cleanse, which was a taller bottle. This is the Power Cleanse. And the Power Cleanse, according to Phase 2, you can also find on the website for NuLean that they have Phase 1 and Phase 2. In Phase 2, we'll talk about the Power Cleanse as well as the Super Protein. Now these products can be purchased individually. That's kind of how you do it. They don't have like a kit for Phase 2, but you will continue taking the Super Protein, and now you'll be using the Power Cleanse instead of the Super Cleanse for Phase 2. I'm going to also talk to you now about, and I'll say this before I move on, all of the instructions on how to do Phase 2, just like you've seen on the NuLean website, which is NuLean.com, or NuLean for Life, NuLeanFor Life, NuLeanForLife.com. All those instructions can be found on the website there also. And remember, we're looking to do Phase 1 without full meals each day. So Phase 2 is also listed there, and it'll show you exactly like Phase 1, what to do in the morning, what to do in the afternoon, how to snack, all of those things as well. Phase 2 is much easier to do because you're going to have full meals every day. Most of Phase 2 is just going to be replacing some of the Super Cleanse with the Power Cleanse through here also. And you can call our office for pricing, current pricing. The prices vary from the company here and there, and whatever we get it for, we return it back to you with the cheapest, most affordable cost that we can afford to sell it to as well. So you can call Carrie 414-856-1900 and ask her, hey, what's your current price for the Super Protein, and what's your current price for the Power Cleanse? This will last you about, this is going to go through Phase 2 for 1 week. This will last you 1 week. So every week that you do it, you need another bottle of the Power Cleanse also. Now I'm going to give you my recommendations for what I talk to a lot of patients about in my office. When they do Phase 2, for them to start to lose weight or continue to lose weight, I don't want people to have to, who wants to take products all the time, right? Especially if you've got to lose a lot of weight, you know, you can do this. A lot of patients do this in our office, but I want to give you kind of an alternative also, because I want to teach you more of a lifestyle of how to eat so that you can continue to melt away fat and feel better than you have maybe forever, or at least in a long, long time. So I'm going to introduce a couple of concepts, and then I'm going to direct you to YouTube and some other areas that you can start to look up and to do some more research. So if you've never heard the word ketosis before, or metabolic ketosis, I want to introduce you to that. There's a book called the Fat Fast Cookbook. It's called the Fat Fast Cookbook by Dana Carpenter, C-A-R-P-E-N-D-E-R. Dana Carpenter's book, Fat Fast Cookbook. This thing's awesome because it's going to show you in the first few pages that she's going to talk about eating more fat and replacing the carbs with more fat. This is a low-carb way of eating, but it's not the high protein like the Atkins diet is. This is the higher fat, which talks about ketosis and what metabolic ketosis is. I'll kind of tell you what it is in a nutshell, and then I'll show you my resources. The body, the human body, and the standard American, what we do is we eat way, way, way too many carbs. And those carbs are again, we get these from carbs in breads, in pastas, in cereals, in rice, in potatoes, vegetables. There's healthy carbs, there's some unhealthy carbs. But carbs get converted into sugar, into glucose, and then our body burns glucose for fuel. Well, what ketosis is it's taking those sugars out so that our body doesn't break everything down into glucose. And now what it's going to do is it's going to use fat. When you give it more fat, it's going to start to burn fat for fuel. And when the body changes over from using glucose as its primary fuel source to using fat as its primary fuel source, this is called metabolic ketosis. And when you're in metabolic ketosis, when your body is doing that, burning more fat as its primary fuel source, then the body will start to get rid of fat. The body says, boy, I'm getting a lot more fat. I'm processing these fats for energy now, and you're gonna lose a lot of fat. So to learn more about that, I know that sounds kind of weird. Even in Dana Carpenter's book, she's going to say some of the first thing that she says, what about all that fat and cholesterol? Won't it kill me? And then she's going to say right away in a word, no, it's not. Right away she's going to say everything you know is wrong. And it's going to talk to you about, for decades that we've been told that eating more fat makes us more fat. And again, she's going to go through why that's completely not true. There's a lot of resources out there. Hers is the one that I would get first. Jorge Cruz, you may have seen Jorge Cruz on Dr. Oz. He's got a book out called The 100. This is a way, I highly recommend this book. This is a great way to gently introduce yourself to eating less carbs. More protein, more fat. This doesn't specifically talk about ketosis, but this will talk about the low carb, which is a great starting point until you advance up towards more of the ketosis. There's a lot of books out there that will go through this. Here's the low carb, high fat revolution. And these are authors that are researchers as well, so they've got the hard evidence. And again, even going through some of these books, we're going to see over and over that how the body was designed to eat. It wasn't designed to eat all these carbs, all these sugars that we eat and put into our body. Here's another one. This is Health and Fitness. This is from a few months ago. Right away, less carbs, more fat. So we can start to see this. Last one that I've got, you may have heard of paleo before. Paleo is sort of in between well, it's a great way of eating, but it's very low carbs also. It may not stress the high fat as much, but it's going to stress the low carbs and some healthy ways of eating that way also to continue to lose weight. This one is called 500 Paleo Recipes, but you can go to YouTube, and I encourage you to look up things like what is ketosis? K-E-T-O-S-I-S. K-E-T-O-S-I-S. What is ketosis? Or what is metabolic ketosis? And you'll see everything from people having ways to eat to researchers that have done hardcore documentation on when we eat this way, how quickly we'll start to lose fat and burn more fat. Many hospitals and cancer wards have their patients go into ketosis to fight off cancer because it's a very anti-cancer way of eating as well. If you have questions or concerns, I mean, go to YouTube, but you can, again, always text me if you have questions, 414-687-0908. That's what I just want to talk about today for NuLean Phase 2. Phase 1 is the 7-day intensive detox where you can lose, again, typically 7.8 pounds and over 5 pounds of fat. So if you haven't watched the first video, watch that first video. And so Phase 2 can either be going along with continuing with the super protein and with the power cleanse, or sort of what we've recommended now, which is to start learning about this low carb way of eating and a higher fat way of eating also. That's it. God bless you guys. Have a great afternoon, great day wherever you're at watching this. Give me a call if you need any extra help. Thanks very much.